I absolutely live for the kind of client session I had that I'm about to tell you about. Um, my name is Mary Truitt. I am a past life regressionist. I trained personally with both Dolores Cannon and Brian Weiss, and I like to come on here and tell you about my sessions. So this week, I love mermaids. So my client was in complete disbelief, and she said, when she arrived in the lifetime, she said, I keep hearing mermaid, mermaid, mermaid. And she was like, but that's not possible. How could I be a mermaid? But then she proceeded to have an absolutely beautiful life as a mermaid. And she had blonde hair and a sort of iridescent body, of course, very small breasts, sharp, sharp teeth, like little incisors, all of them. And she said she survived on eating little bits of fish, very small fish, and they lived in groups. They're very protected. And there were a lot of rules about what they were not allowed to do with humans. At one point, there was a shipwreck, and she said they all looked like pirates. And she was upset because she wasn't allowed to help any of them. And she spent most of her time racing around in the coral reefs and having a fun time with her friends. She had a red-haired mermaid friend that was her best friend. And she wasn't also allowed to touch any of the wreckage that they found in the ocean. And there was a white box that she was obsessed with. And I really wanted to get her to open it because she kept swimming around it and wondering what it was. But I didn't want to be a troublemaker, so I didn't say you have to open it. Anyway, the client needed a bunch of healing. And so I said to her, is there like a special place in the ocean that mermaids go to for healing? Because, of course, if she gets healing in that lifetime as a mermaid, it transfers to all of her other lifetimes, including this one. So she said, yeah, there's a cave we go to. So we went way, way down into the bottom of the ocean to the coldest, darkest parts. And we went into a cave. And when you went into this cave, there were a series of tunnels. And she kind of knew which way to go. And I said, so is there a healer we're going to see? And she said, well, it's a combination. There is a healer we're going to see. But the ocean itself can heal us if we ask for help. So it was sort of a combined effort of elements. So we arrived down this tunnel, and there's an ancient mermaid there with very black eyes. And she said she has black eyes from living so far down in the depths. She very rarely comes to the surface. And she said she has a very ancient sort of vibe, like she just seems like very, very old. And she had black hair with gray streaks in it and a shell right here on her third eye. And what she did was she was kind of almost like a musical conductor. And she began to conduct the fish and tell them what to do. There were all these little fish that seemed to be her helpers. And the first thing they did was they came and they began to kiss the client's forehead. Now, the client had been having problems with vision and with some vascular stuff around her eyes. And so the fish began to sort of make these little tiny kisses all over her forehead. And then another thing that the healer did was she got the fish to swim in circles around the client at various speeds, which would create a frequency and vibration that would do the healing. And it was really interesting because this morning I saw a news article on the kinds of noises that fish make, and it was all about how they use their fins to create vibrations and certain parts of their body to make little clicks, and it sounded so similar to what happened in this lifetime. Anyway, the client also needed some healing on her heart, and the healer took a black urchin, and squeezed it and got black ink out of it and put that directly into her heart. And so that was another way that they did healing, which I thought was really beautiful. So, and the client the whole time could really feel all the things that were happening. She could feel the fish and the currents and all that stuff. Anyway, that's my story for today. It's always such an adventure. My job is so wonderful. Um, I will see you all again another time, and I hope you're all doing well. Bye.